Welcome back to Dinar Vision, where we keep you connected to the pulse of the currency world with the latest updates and community insights. Today, we are diving into a development that is arguably one of the most significant pieces of news we have covered in the history of this channel, something that is sending absolute shockwaves through every corner of the community. We are not talking about the usual rumors or the speculative chatter that often circulates in online forums. This is a tangible shift in the narrative that has ignited a firestorm of activity and anticipation. For years, holders have navigated a landscape filled with uncertainty, holding onto their notes with a mixture of hope and skepticism, waiting for a signal that the landscape was finally changing. That signal appears to have arrived today with an intensity that is impossible to ignore. The atmosphere right now is electric, characterized by a massive rush of energy as reports flood in regarding the operational status of redemption centers. If you are watching this, you are witnessing a potential turning point, a moment where the waiting game transitions into active engagement. We are going to unpack every single detail of this situation, exploring what it means for you, how the process is unfolding, and why this specific update is different from anything we have heard in the past. Settle in and pay close attention, because the landscape is shifting beneath our feet right now. The headline breaking today is both simple and monumental, fundamentally changing the understanding of how the exchange process is intended to work. Reports are pouring in from multiple sources indicating that redemption centers are now active and, crucially, are accepting every single type of Iraqi Dinar note in circulation. This is a massive deviation from the fears that have plagued the community for years, where many worried that specific restrictions would leave them out in the cold. We are hearing that the doors are open to everything. Older notes that have been held for decades, the newer print series, large denominations, and small denominations alike. In the past, there was a persistent cloud of anxiety surrounding the validity of certain notes, with rumors suggesting that only the most modern prints would be eligible for redemption. This update effectively shatters those concerns, delivering a clear and resounding message that the system is moving toward total inclusion. It suggests that the financial infrastructure is ready to process the entire spectrum of the currency, removing the barriers that many feared would render their holdings obsolete. This isn't just a technical update, it is a validation of the asset itself, regardless of when it was printed or what face value is stamped on the paper. Let's dig deeper into the significance of this all notes accepted policy, because it completely levels the playing field for everyone involved. For a long time, there was a fragmented belief system within the community where people felt they had to curate their holdings based on unverified rumors about valid versus invalid series. People lost sleep wondering if the 3-0 notes would be rejected or if the older currency from previous years would be deemed worthless. This breaking news erases that doubt entirely, creating a unified environment where every holder, regardless of their specific portfolio, has a seat at the table. It means that whether you have the 25,000 notes or the smaller lower denominations, the redemption centers are reportedly treating them with equal eligibility for exchange. This inclusivity is the first major sign of a currency system that is ready for expansion and stabilization. By eliminating the division and confusion regarding note types, the process becomes streamlined and transparent. It rewards the tenacity of those who held on to their notes through years of conflicting information, proving that the currency itself or the physical paper you hold it is recognized by the system. This move is about eliminating excuses and ensuring that no one is left waiting in uncertainty because of the specific ink or date on their money. The reaction on the ground has been instantaneous and overwhelming, resembling a dam breaking after years of pressure. As this news spreads, we are seeing real-time movement that we haven't seen in years. People are no longer just sitting behind keyboards speculating, they are taking tangible action. Reports suggest that individuals are already lining up, making phone calls to verify locations, and actively seeking out their nearest redemption centers. It is as if a switch was flipped, transforming a passive community into an active workforce of prepared individuals. This momentum is exactly what many have been waiting to see, as it represents the transition from hope to reality. When access opens up to everyone without restriction, It triggers a collective mobilization. The energy is electrifying because it is no longer about what if but rather what now. Investors who may have been dormant or silent for years are suddenly re-emerging, checking their supplies, and preparing to move. This is the definition of momentum. It is a physical manifestation of the market responding to open doors. The psychological shift from waiting to acting is profound, and it is driving a level of engagement that suggests this is a historic window of opportunity for the community. We must also address the emotional weight of this moment, which goes far beyond the financial mechanics of an exchange. For many of you watching Dinar Vision, holding this currency has been a long, often emotional journey spanning decades. It has been a test of patience, belief, and resilience against a backdrop of skepticism from the outside world. To hear that redemption centers are open and accepting all notes is a profound vindication of that struggle. It signals that the wait was not in vain and that the system is finally acknowledging the holders. The tension that comes from years of stagnation is suddenly being replaced with the thrill of anticipation. You can feel this shift in the online forums and chat rooms, which are blowing up with stories of people organizing their notes and setting appointments. Hope is transmuting into action, and that action is creating a shared sense of victory. This is a communal experience. Everyone who believed and held on is now standing on the precipice of the same opportunity. It is a rare once-in-a-lifetime feeling where the countdown energy is palpable. You are not just watching from the sidelines anymore, you are a participant in a major financial event. And that emotional release is driving the excitement we are seeing today. However, with this excitement comes the absolute necessity for strategic preparation, because enthusiasm without organization can lead to chaos. The doors may be open, but the people who will succeed and have the smoothest experience are those who are prepared before they even step out the door. Do not wait until you are standing in line to organize your affairs. Now is the time to ensure your notes are sorted, clean, and cataloged. You need to know exactly what you hold of the total amount, the denominations, and the count before you arrive at a center. We recommend keeping them stored in protective sleeves or envelopes to maintain their condition, as this shows professionalism and respect for the process. Beyond the currency itself, you must have your documentation ready. A valid government-issued ID is non-negotiable, and having secondary proofs of identity, such as utility bills or proof of address, can prevent unnecessary delays. When you are at the counter, every second counts, and fumbling for documents helps no one. Being prepared gives you confidence. It allows you to walk into a high-energy environment with a sense of calm control, ensuring that your transaction is processed efficiently while others are still scrambling to get their act together. Simplicity is one of the greatest victories in today's update, and it is something we should not overlook. There is no complicated maze of new requirements or hidden steps that have been announced. The process is reported to be clean and official. The directive is straightforward. Present your notes, confirm your identity, follow the instructions given by the staff, and sign the necessary paperwork. This simplicity is what builds trust. After years of complicated rumors involving special rates for special groups or complex tier systems, the reality appears to be much more democratic and standardized. It is a professional banking process, not a mysterious ritual. This lack of ambiguity removes the fear of making a mistake. It suggests that the system is designed to facilitate the exchange, not to hinder it. When you approach a redemption center, you can expect a structured environment. This clarity is what people have been hoping for, because nothing signals legitimacy like a boring, standard, efficient process. It eliminates the guesswork and allows you to focus entirely on the task at hand, which is finalizing the exchange you have waited so long for. A critical aspect of today's news is the confirmation that size does not matter when it comes to eligibility. There has been a long-standing misconception that this event was only for the whales or the major investors holding millions upon millions of dinar. Today's reports confirm that this is completely wrong. Every note counts, which means the small holders are just as involved in this process as the large ones. Whether you have a few hundred dinar or a few million, you have a valid claim and a right to participate. This inclusion of the little guy is vital for the health of the overall movement. When small holders act together, their combined activity creates massive momentum in the market. It validates the currency on a micro level, proving its utility and acceptance across the board. Psychologically, this is huge for those who felt they might be overlooked. You are not insignificant in this process. You are a necessary part of the volume that the system is processing. Everyone has a seat at the table today, and that democratization of opportunity is one of the most energizing aspects of the current news cycle. Let's look at the potential economic ripple effects of this development, as it extends beyond just the individuals exchanging currency. When redemption centers accept all note types and facilitate these exchanges, it generates a significant amount of financial activity. People are moving assets, liquidity is entering the market, and transactions are being recorded. This kind of activity is exactly what injects life into a financial system. It demonstrates operational readiness to the global banking community. The very act of opening these centers and successfully processing diverse note types proves that the infrastructure works. It signals confidence in the dinar's structure and the country's economic stability. While the full impact of this might take time to ripple through the broader economy, the early participants are the spark that lights the fire. Banks and international investors pay attention to this kind of operational success. By participating, you are part of a larger mechanism that is proving the viability of the currency reform. This isn't just news, it is a catalyst for wider financial activity that could influence market trends and economic sentiment for the foreseeable future. We must also discuss the strategy of timing, because while the centers are open, rushing and blindly is not always the best move. This is a large-scale operation, and it is physically impossible for everyone to exchange at the exact same moment. Centers will process notes in the order they are received, and lines or appointment queues are inevitable. Patience is essential here. The smart approach is to balance urgency with readiness. If you rush to a center without your ID or with disorganized notes, you risk being turned away or delayed, which is far worse than waiting a day to get everything right. However, you also do not want to wait so long that you end up at the back of a massive backlog. The goal is to move as soon as you are fully ready. It is a strategic balance. Preparation plus timing equals advantage. You want to be the person who walks in calm, collected, and ready to execute, not the person contributing to the chaos. Understand that this is a process that will take some time to clear the backlog of demand. So pacing yourself and acting decisively when you are ready is the key to a stress-free experience. In the midst of this excitement, verification acts as your shield against the inevitable wave of misinformation that follows major news. Not every website or social media post you read today will be accurate. Scammers thrive on high emotion and urgency, and they will try to lure people with promises of special fast-track access or higher rates in exchange for fees or personal data. You must protect yourself by sticking strictly to verified redemption centers and official channels. There are no shortcuts that bypass the official process. If someone is asking for money upfront to facilitate your exchange, it is almost certainly a trap. Verification isn't just about avoiding financial loss, it is about maintaining your peace of mind. You have waited too long to jeopardize your success by falling for a scam at the finish line. Be proactive, check your sources, and rely on the community for feedback on which centers are legitimate. By staying within the safety of verified procedures, you ensure that your participation is not only profitable but also safe and secure. This brings us to the immense value of the community during this specific window of time. You are not undergoing this process in a vacuum. Thousands of other holders are in the exact same position, navigating the same emotions and logistics. The power of collective intelligence right now is priceless. Online forums and groups are exploding with real-time feedback from people who are actually at the centers. Observing these reports can give you critical insights into wait times, specific procedural nuances, and potential hurdles to avoid. It provides reassurance that the system is working. If you are a first-time participant, seeing others succeed is the validation you need to proceed with confidence. This is a moment for community bonding, where sharing tips and warnings helps everyone collectively succeed. Do not isolate yourself, stay connected to the chatter, filter for the reliable information, and use the experiences of others to refine your own strategy. The shared energy of the community is a resource that can make the difference between a stressful day and a smooth transaction. Mindset is the invisible variable that will determine how well you navigate this transition. It is easy to get swept up in euphoria and make hasty decisions, but the most successful people in this environment are those who remain grounded. Treat this as a business transaction, not a lottery win. Approach the Redemption Center with professionalism and courtesy. Understand the steps, follow the verified procedures, and keep your focus on the task at hand. Emotions can cloud judgment, leading to simple mistakes like forgetting a document or miscounting your notes. By staying calm and centered, you ensure that you are operating at your best. This is a historic opportunity, yes, but it is also a bureaucratic process that requires attention to detail. Patience, clarity, and a cool head are your best allies right now. Let the excitement fuel your preparation, but let logic drive your actions. This balanced mindset will help you navigate the high-energy environment of the Redemption Centers effectively. Stepping back to look at the macro view, today's developments reflect a narrative of progress that we have been tracking for years. The fact that redemption centers are reportedly open and accepting all note types is tangible evidence that the Iraqi dinar is evolving. For years, speculation has been the primary currency of this community, but today we are dealing with operational reality. The infrastructure is ready, the system is functioning, and the process is real. This is history in motion. When you participate, you are witnessing the culmination of a massive financial reform effort. It validates the belief that the currency has value and that the system is capable of reintegrating it fully. Being aware of this bigger picture helps maintain perspective. It reminds you that this is not just about the single transaction, but about the restoration of a currency's standing. You are part of that story, and understanding the magnitude of the event adds a layer of significance to the practical steps you are taking today. As we wrap up this urgent update, the message is clear: the doors are open, and the opportunity is here. Whether you are a small holder or a large investor, whether your notes are old or new, this moment includes you. The key to maximizing this opportunity lies in your ability to organize, verify, and prepare. Follow the actionable steps we have discussed: sort your currency, secure your documents, identify your center, and move with strategic confidence. Do not let this moment pass you by while you are still getting organized. Stay safe, avoid the scams that prey on excitement, and trust in the official process. This is the time to turn anticipation into results. We will continue to monitor this situation around the clock, bringing you the latest developments as they unfold. Make sure you are subscribed to Dinar Vision and have your notifications turned on, because in a rapidly moving environment like this, information is your most valuable asset. Stay sharp, stay prepared, and get ready to take your seat at the table.